Huffy Cranbrook, a 24-inch wheelbase type. It's actually one of the harder versions of the Cranbrook to get used compared to the 26-inchers, because most coaster brake wheels are either 20-inch BMX size or smaller, or 26-inch. But to find 24-inch or 29-inch, like 29-inch coaster brake wheels are the hardest to get. Sometimes even have to be specially made or ordered. But 24-inch ones, they're not common. You could get one of these Huffy Cranbrooks new right now over in a Walmart for probably, what, $150, something like that. This one cost me $60 used. And at the time, I bought it for my mother because the last bike I bought her was too big for her to get on, but now she can't even really ride because she's having some issues. So I'm just going to turn this bike into a Klunker and then flip it, because, well, I'm obviously not going to get the amount of money I have into this build back, but at the same time I don't really care about that. I just want to build it. I tried looking in numerous stores to find a paint that was similar, but all I was able to find was this satin vintage teal Rust-Oleum that is close, but it's like this paint if this paint was never faded. I plan to mount this front brake caliper I picked up used for $5 at my local bike shop. It is a metallic purple, and I thought, hey, you know, for $5, this is absolutely perfect for this build. Before any major work can be done with it, I have to take this bike apart. And I don't really like these handlebars for it, but I have these better ones that came off of the original Mom Klunker I built. These are handlebars and stem off of a hyper bike that I scrapped. And these, frankly, well, they just look better. Since I don't have like some kind of jig set up to hang this frame on to paint it, and since I really don't want to have to, there we go. And since I really don't want to have to take the chain off and stuff, I'm going to repaint this frame in sections. I'm gonna set up my jank painting table.
And it's just immediate improvement that can be seen there. Honestly, I should be doing this while holding it. That's looking pretty good there. I'm just gonna hang it back in the frame for now. And there. It'll sit and dry in that.
Next thing I'm going to paint, though, is this, since I want it metallic black.
Also, these metallic Rust-Oleums seem to coat things better than most regular Rust-Oleums. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but for whatever reason, they seem to go on better. And that immediately looks so much nicer. I can't even joke about that. It's so much prettier. Granted, it won't be this shiny when it dries, but it's funny. Ooh, Oliver! Hey, buddy. You lonely again, cat? Yeah. I'll take you in the house as soon as I'm done here. Hey. I know we get jealous, okay? But, don't chase him around. You gotta make sure that you paint all the little edges. I'll paint the interior once this dries. So for now, I'm just gonna let that sit.
Alright, I have taped off the end pieces on the shaft here. So now I'm going to start painting this bike in sections. There we go. Heater is on. Now we just hotbox the parts. Alright, so this has gotten to bake for a little while. As you can see, I've gotten it hanging differently now. So, let's just very carefully finagle the chain over here. Make sure not to scrape anything. Yeah, to block this out so we don't paint over it. Well, with that, I would say the frame is about fully painted. So, unless something else happens, it should be fine. Ah! Now let's have a look over here at what I got hanging up. It still doesn't look like it's real metallic black yet, so I'm gonna whip out the gloss. So we're just gonna shine this up a bit using some Rust-Oleum crystal clear enamel. I can already see massive improvement here. Now it's starting to look like metallic black. It's chilly and the weather sucks, but I really want to take a crack at trying to finish this bike. The paint job on the frame is all finished. And as a bonus, the clamp lever here, I painted metallic black. And I also painted the cups on each end of this metallic black. I thought that would be just a nice little addition, especially since I painted the chain guard metallic black. Let's hope I can get my grease gun to actually work in this cold. Oh, well, what do you know? Normally it takes me a while just to get it to squirt when it's this cold. Let that new grease settle in there. Now let's get this back on. Even if I don't finish this bike tonight, I want to at least have the bulk of it done. Fresh grease on top of the bearing, and then fresh grease in the cup on top. And that'll ensure that the bearing stays good and moist. Moist. The bearing will stay good and moist. Through the cup. Here we go. Getting grease on the fresh paint here. Now for the handlebars. I've been waiting so long to put these on. But yeah, I love those bars. Okay. So I'm hoping that once this is all together, I'll never have to monkey with it again. For the front, I have this metallic purple caliper here. I'm sure I mentioned it already, but I got this caliper for $5 at the local bike shop. And I think it'll fit in with this build nicely. Alright. Front wheel is attached. Now for the front brakes, I have this vintage brake lever. And it's not just for aesthetic reasons that I'm using this part. It's because it has this. This will make it easy to put on the handlebars without removing the grips. It looks nice, but I think I angled it wrong. It's way up there. It's because my repair stand is so high, I can't lower this model. Since this is a coaster brake bike, these front brakes are essentially secondary anyways. But they do improve safety, especially when going down hills. If you're going down hills with coaster brakes alone, be prepared to know what you're doing, otherwise you might have it a little rough. Does that work this way? I don't know if you heard that stomach gurgle, but I think those sugar-free M&ms that I ate earlier are starting to come back on me. Oh. Okay, I'm back. In goes the new cable. Is this smaller than what was in it? Mildly, I think. I wouldn't call them universal. Well, I guess that settles that. So, the exact kind of brake cable that this handle needs, I currently do not have. So, I'm just going to keep assembling the bike, and I'll see if I can get one of these cables from the bike shop tomorrow. Okay, here's the seat. It freshly donated from the old mom Klunker that my mom can't use. This is directly off of another Huffy, so it should fit. There we go. Oh yeah. Like butter with the grease. Alright, now we're going to put the cover back on. I more or less figured out the issue with the brake cable. See, over at the bike shop they didn't have an exact for what this needed, but then someone over there gave me a clever idea. He mentioned using a punch or something to take the head of the brake cable and just like smash it a little flatter so it would get wider. So I thought, well, I can try something similar, and I put it on the anvil part of my bench vise and just wailed on it with a heavy hammer a few times, and yeah, now it fits. So, go figure. Well, dang, I have a problem. It's not long enough. The problem with these Huffy Cranbrooks is, well, with the front fork anyways, it's basically got the same front fork as the Huffy Cranbrook that uses 26-inch wheels. Because of that, a C-brake caliper doesn't want to reach down to the rim. It would rather grind on the tire, and I can't do that. What do you want now, dog? What do you want? I get it. I get it, yes. I'm gonna go scour eBay and see if they got any extra long calipers.
Hey, check it out. I've got a DeWalt hat. Too bad my drills are Black & Decker.
I really wanted to use this caliper. I bought like extenders and whatnot, but bolts for the extenders I think would get in the way, and I ended up not using them. But I recently got my hands on this. I ordered it, and it's almost, well, this one's more pink than this one's purple, but it came with brake pads already on it, and this was an annoying part to track down because I needed a very specific size of brake caliper. Over at the bike shop, they had these huge C-brake calipers that were too big for this, and finding this one on eBay was just a chore, but I got it. I have way too much money into this bike, considering I'm only going to be getting like $60 from it when I sell it. I mean, the only way I'd make any money on this bike is if I sold it for what it would go for brand new at Walmart. There ain't no way it's making that. But I get more joy out of seeing my bikes go to people who will actually love and enjoy them. That's what gives me happiness when I sell them. So knowing that I won't make anything on this bike doesn't bother me too much. Where did that come from? Oh, there's a big spritz of black paint underneath. Good thing there's still plenty of this left, even after painting the entire frame. Well, hopefully that won't be noticeable when it dries. Now let's see if we can finally get this bike completed. Alright, so first test. Aside from needing to be tuned, it looks like it squeezes just fine. I'm gonna let that little bit of spray paint I put on it cure for a couple of days, and then I'm gonna wipe it down and put it up for sale. Hopefully sometime soon I'll be able to get my hands on a male frame Huffy Cranbrook to turn into a Klunker. I'd really like that. Since I've had this sitting on my list so long, waiting on the final part, I almost forgot about the very last thing, the bell. Ice cream bell that I Frankensteined together out of a couple of broken bells. You'd be surprised how similar the parts are between brands, but just gotta slide it on, and then this bike really will be done. There we go. Now this is one finished Huffy Cranbrook. I can practically guarantee you that you won't find another one like this out there. I'm gonna kind of miss it once it's gone. But at the same time, I'm glad this project's finally over. I'll come back in a couple of days and the extra paint I put on is all cured, and then I'll give it a good cleaning with some alcohol wipes and put it up on OfferUp. All done.